Sometimes leaders have difficulty having tough conversations with other leaders on their team or executives because they're worried about, possibly addressing a conflict, or maybe it can lead to a conflict. And so those difficult conversations don't end up happening on the team. And if you don't do that, if a team doesn't do that, there's no way in the world you can be a great team. You can be a good team, but to have a great team, you got to address those difficulties. You got to address those conflicts. And the area I'm talking about with you here today is about health, fitness, diet, because when you go into that area, automatically everybody checks their gut. Everybody says, oh my gosh, is he talking about the fact that I'm fat? Have I gained some weight? Do I not look good? And then they're defensive. Are you talking about me? And then there's internal conflict and people don't want to communicate with you and they hold on to this stuff. But there's a way of doing this. And I just had it this last week. 2 weeks ago, I sat down with my executives for 2.5 hours. I had 29 points that I covered with the home office executive. This is not sales leaders. And I went all the way down, covered every single point, and then all the way down at the bottom for me was, you all need to present to us a personal development plan on what keywords and what areas you personally are committing to improving. And I need to have a health plan on what you're doing to improve your health side. And I keep this in mind. At the home office, we invest a lot of money into a gym, all these other things, and we're planning on doing some stuff to measure contests on who has the most steps they take and all these bonuses we're going to do on people staying in shape, because the higher the energy is, the more conducive we are working together. In this episode, I will cover with you 10 reasons why exercising will help you make more money. And prior to me getting into the episode, if you got any questions, thoughts, comment below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, click on the subscribe button right here and join the notification squad right next to it. So point number one, what happens when you exercise? Your mind becomes sharper. Just think about it this way. When you come to work and you haven't exercised, you're lethargic. Sometimes it takes an hour or two before you even get into the flow of doing things, right? When you exercise prior to coming to work, your mind is sharper right off the bat. And you just kind of want to get into it. You're in the flow of things. You're going, you're moving, you're coming up with better ideas, better ways of, having this thing advance to the next level. What if we do this? What if we do that? What if we do this? Everything does better because your mind is sharper. Point number two, which is an extension of point number one, problem solving. You become a better problem solver. Problem solving requires point number three, which is energy. If you don't have energy, you can't solve problems. Why? So think about it this way. If you're in a room, in a boardroom, everybody's going back and forth trying to solve problems, and you see everybody do this one signal. Let me tell you what the signal is. This is the signal. You ready? This is the signal of somebody saying, we should just figure something out and leave the boardroom. This is how it looks like. You know what the signal is? What is the signal? I want to go home, right? The signal is, I want to finish this meeting here. We should already wrap up. You could have been 7 minutes away from solving this problem in a way so effective that would have helped you take your business to the next level, but you were so tired because you're lethargic from not exercising, not having proper diet, that you just made the good decision instead of the best decision, so you don't advance to the next level. And by the way, this happens in sports, this happens in business, this happens in everything you watch, because you can tell when decisions are made, and this is what happens. The person goes like this. Let's just do it. That's not the best decision. That's just a decision. It's not the best decision. The best decision is, if we do this, it does this. If we do this, it does this. If we do this, it does this. Here, let's write this on You know what? I think this is the best decision. We're moving with this. What do you guys think? Great. Let's move forward, right? Because you need energy. Point number four. You have better sex in life. Now, what do you mean by better sex in life? Why is this so critical? I hate to say it to you. When you do better in bed and you're having a better sex life, you just feel better. I know this sounds crazy for some people, but it's a part of it. You come to work and you had a good session in the morning, you feel like a freaking rock star, right? Or you come to work, you had a good night the night before, things were pretty exciting. There's a lot of noise being made, some, intensive, things are happening there. Things are getting heated. The window's getting foggy. You kind of come to work with a little pep in your step. Your shoulders are back, your chin is up. You're like, you have no idea who you're in business with, people. You got a rock star in the house. Better sex life. Believe me, you will feel better when the lights are on. You don't have to say, honey, can we turn the lights off, please? You want to turn the lights off because you're not exercising. You don't mind leaving the lights on if you're exercising. I know this stinks, but it's the reality part of things that we don't like to talk about. Point number five, less jealousy and envy. Why? We become jealous and envious of other people because other people may be taking care of their lives, their shape, their bodies, and we're not. And we're saying, well, what about with this guy? Well, what are you so worried about this guy? Why are you so jealous of this guy? Who is this guy? All he cares about is his body, and all she cares about is her body. So why don't you take care of your body, and why don't you have better diet, and why don't you stop eating junk food, and why don't you drink some more water, and why don't you have some diet? Yeah, but life is not all about being in shape, all this other stuff. When you age, your body does this, and it's because of my age, and it's because of this. I'm sorry, but I've met 70-year-olds that are in better shape than 25-year-olds. I've met people that are in shape at 70, 75 years old. So when you exercise and you're comfortable in your body, I'm not telling you to go out there and look like some of these models. It's not the point. But I'm telling you, when you work out and your energy is good, you don't have a lot to be envious and jealous about, because you know that you're putting the time into yourself to stay in shape. Point number 6, better memory. When you have better memory, you have better relationships. You know why? Because people like it when you remember things. People like it when you remember their names. People like it when you remember conversations. People like it when you remember something that happened 2 years ago, 6 years ago. And like, wow, he remembers this. This is kind of cool. And by the way, memory also benefits you in negotiation. Memory helps you when you're selling. Memory helps you when you're doing follow-up. Memory helps you when you run into a customer at a networking event and say, hey, Larry, good seeing you. I remember, how's your family doing? Your wife was going through some stuff because she was running the marathon at that time, right? How did she do with the marathon? Oh, you remember? I was great. All of these things help because you have a sharper memory. Point number 7, stress relief. You have a lot of stress. If you're performing, if you're an executive, if you're a leader, if you're running a gun, you're going after it. I got a call earlier today. Somebody told me, says, hey, Pat, how's everything with you? This is an old friend from high school. I'm talking years ago, 17, 18 years old. We used to cause havoc in LA. He called me, says, hey, man, I'm just seeing you everywhere. How are you feeling about all this hard work? Aren't you under stress? Yeah, the higher the decisions you make, the person that's got the most stress in their lives right now is a guy that's called the President of the United States. That guy's got stress. Okay, because anything he does, 50 million publications about him that he's the worst president of all time. That's stress. What we do is we're running a business, we have family. This is not big stuff. There's got to be a release. And exercise and helps you have a release of that stress. You sleep better, which is the next point. Sleeping better helps you perform better. Meaning, when you go home at night, how do you sleep? Do you ever complain about the fact that, I don't know why I have a hard time sleeping at night. I just don't sleep very good at night. I wake up 2 or 3, 4 different times. Well, guess what? Have you ever gone home because you had such a crazy, hard-working day that you would have slept in your car? Like, have you ever fallen asleep in your car going home? Why is that? You worked your tail off, right, when you get home. So what if you exercise, you really gave everything that day, you go home, you spend a little bit of time with your kids, your family, whatever you're doing, and then you hit the sack, 2 minutes, you're gone. Well, you sleep better. Why do you sleep better? You're heavier. You sleep heavier. You're deeper thoughts. Why? Because you worked out that day and your body needs rest. So your body says, I've worked out today. I have work today. Guess what time it is, Pat? What time? We need to sleep. Shut it down. Boom, you go to sleep, right? So you sleep better when you exercise. Point number 9, longevity. You last longer in business, which means your value in the marketplace is higher. Let me explain to you what I mean by this. This has got nothing to do with your age. I see 27-year-olds that are 300 pounds, 5'10", that will have a shorter lifespan of effectiveness in the corporate world or business than I see a guy that's 53 years old who runs 20 miles every week. He is 5'10", 160 pounds. That person's longevity in business is higher than the 27-year-old because the 27-year-old's walking around like this. And that is not good for your health. And it's not good for valuation of your lifetime, of the amount of money you're going to be making. So we got to figure out a way to have your longevity in life be higher. And believe me, this is not an easy conversation to have with anybody. Some of you are watching this, right? I probably lost a lot of viewers in today's episode. But if you're still here with us, guess what? More power to you for having the courage to listen to these types of difficult conversations that none of us want to have. Believe me, last year and a half ago, I was so casual with my body. I went to 257 pounds. I dropped 27 pounds and I kept it. I stayed at 230 because that's my body weight for being 6'4". Longevity, your value goes higher the longer you can last. Point number 10. You become more attractive. Now, what do I mean by more attractive? Sometimes being more attractive is smiling. You know, it's amazing. So a guy can go from looking like a 5 to a 7 the moment he smiles, right? You got a smile on your face, you're just more attractive. And you smile more the more you exercise because your body's moving, you feel better, right? So you become more attractive. People want to be around more attractive people. People want to do business with more attractive people. People want to refer more attractive people. You become attractive. It helps in your business. And all of this here that we talked about, the 10 points, helps you make more money and helps you advance in life to the next level, whatever that may be for you. And now keep this in mind. I have a PDF for you I want you to download if you click below here. And the PDF for you is a score for you to put on every single one of these things and ask yourself, how amazing is your current sex life? If you're watching 13 years old, you're asking about sex life, you shouldn't be having a sex life right now. Take your time. I'm just talking about if you're an adult, how amazing is that? You may be 32 years old marrying, ask it from yourself. How do you feel when you go to work? Do you feel attractive? Do you have a little bit of jealousy and envy? Are you being sharper? Do you make just the decent decision or the best decision? Score yourself and find out on the bottom what your score is. It's going to be between 0 to 100. Whatever that score is, it'll tell you exactly what things you need to be doing next to take your game to the next level. Look, I want to hear from you. Send me a tweet at Patrick Bet-David after watching this and tell me what's the biggest takeaway you got from this video and what new commitments you are making for your health in your life. With that being said, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, click on the subscribe button right below. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.